Rock and roll. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
All
I'm
right.
waiting for the alert to come up so I can see what's happening in the art of email marketing today.
So, what is your Myers-Briggs results? Joshua, lately we've been talking in our personal conversations, we've been talking a lot about Gallup Strengths Finder.
Yep.
We've been talking a lot about Colby and the Colby Index A in particular. And we've been comparing our strengths, our areas of expertise, as well as some of our weaknesses as we've explored this business partnership we've been working on together.
Yep.
And I was thinking about Myers-Briggs because lots of people seem to take Myers-Briggs profiles very seriously, and for a lot of people, it describes their mind, their brain, their personality, how they operate. And so I actually took Myers-Briggs for the first time this morning, and we decided that we would just do a little. Just do a little. Oh, good morning, Gene. Hello.
Gene and Jacqueline and Kevin just piped up. I'm quite possibly the best personality, ENTP. I got Deadpool and the Joker. You know, it's interesting because everybody thinks their profile type is the best one. It's so cool the way that everybody's got their, they wear it like a badge of honor, so to speak.
That's right.
And y'all, it's Tellman's fault that I got this crazy background that is making y'all nauseous or whatever. So if you like it, give Tellman the congrats.
Wait a minute here. This is not my fault. You asked me what I wanted in the background, and you got to this weird one, and I stopped you, but you initiated the question. That makes it your fault.
Well, that's true. But you said I put up a calm one, and I was asking about the palm tree that was blowing in the wind and the beat.
I thought that was cheese ball. Yeah.
And you said, well, I think you need something more crazy. And I said, well, here's the one that is the craziest that I got on file that I like the least because it makes me nauseous. So, but right. Anyway, yeah, you're right. I'm playing the victim. It's all on me.
Just throw Tellman under the bus. Don't worry, I'm used to it.
Well, you left me this weekend, and on Saturday, I talked a lot about the Strength Finder stuff, along with Perry Marshall's assessments, and combined with putting the two of them together. Have you ever taken Perry Marshall's 80-20 sales and marketing assessment stuff?
I know about the book, but I never knew there was an assessment. I don't know that I actually read the book. I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
It's phenomenal, man.
Checked out the assessment.
It's phenomenal.
Cool. Carl, how's it going, dude? What's up? Hey, are you able to do your work from home, or are you going in and working on your craziness over at Tesla? What's up with that? Carl's one of our long-time clients. He came out for a wealth hypnosis weekend, E3 weekend, several years back, and is a super genius, and has his brain has gone into, I believe, every or almost every circuit board, except, I'm sure I'm using antiquated technology terms, but electronic super ninja computer stuff and Teslas. So it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
Bianca just said that good morning. She's an INFP, and I do wear it like a badge of honor. Yeah, nice. It's funny how we all do, right?
Nice. So yeah, I actually, it's very funny. I just took the test, and I'm looking at it on a separate tab right now, and I'm an INTP, but I was right on the line of INTP or INFP. And it made me choose one or the other. And it's very interesting. I haven't read all the stuff, and I even got tired of reading all the stuff as I was going through it. So I jumped ahead and figured I'd go back and reread the other stuff later, which I'm sure I never will. But I'm very curious. So we would love to hear. And by the way, especially if you're in one of our groups, like 99 Days or the art of email marketing, mention your name so it's a little bit easier for us to see. If you're just following Joshua or I on our individual Facebook pages or on some of the other channels, whether it be YouTube or Periscope or whatever, we can see your names. But if you're inside of one of our Facebook groups and you make a comment, we can't see it. Oh, we got Chuck Mullaney.
Yep, INTP.
And Kevin Gentleman, you said I'm quite possibly the best personality, and we mentioned this earlier, ENTP. I got Deadpool and the Joker, which is the same as Chuck Mullaney, interestingly. Maybe you guys should or shouldn't team up. I don't know. I mean, if Deadpool and the Joker teamed up, they'd probably completely kill each other, but Deadpool can't be killed, so I guess the Joker would lose. But where can you put in your...
Jack Austin, INTJ.
Where can you put in your Myers-Briggs and know what superheroes you have, or supervillains, as the case may be?
Good question.
I'm
I don't
curious
know
about that, Kevin. I want to play with that.
Craig Turan, what's up, my brother? ESTP. So we got that going for me. See?
Okay, so there are a bunch of things that we can learn right now. Okay, and I want to point this out to everyone. We're going to talk about Myers-Briggs in detail in a second, and we're going to respond. While you guys are here, I'd like to know what about your understanding of your Myers-Briggs type has been helpful to you in your life. Like, is there a particular aspect or piece to that you really resonate with, or is there a particular area of clarity or insight that it's given you that has allowed you to enjoy your life more, to do better work, to find better business partners, romantic partners, employment opportunities? You know, like what, theoretically Putin is INTJ, you guys. Like this is wonderful. Like the world conquerors, like people responsible for killing the most people. This is great. Craig, So Thatcher.
I'm glad
hello.
you're doing awesome.
Craig, what do you? A couple of things. So I also want to know. Type in your Myers-Briggs and what you do for a living, like what you sell or who you are or whatever. It'll be interesting to see. So
yeah, the gravitational.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag here. So I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm totally gonna do it because it's worth it. So I was like, so I've been going through this divorce, and my romantic life has been crazy, and it's been just up and down and all over the place, and so I'm on a few dating apps, and my name's Tillman, and I was like, oh, I don't know, this seems a little weird. So I didn't want my internet marketing fame to color the experience of meeting a new person on a dating app. And so as I was looking at these dating apps, I was, swiping as you do on dating apps. And I noticed lots of women put their Myers-Briggs type up as like in the first few lines of their test. And I was like, oh, that's interesting that people are so desperate to classify themselves into a little box. That was kind of what I was thinking. And but I was like, I've never taken the Myers-Briggs, I don't think. And so I decided to take it. And so I took it this morning and to just understand more about this. And I'm going to do a little experiment where I'm going to change my profile name to my Myers-Briggs result and see how that kind of like fictional marketing mascots in a way. And what happened was I was like, we should ask our people what their Myers-Briggs results are as the title of today's live stream and see if anybody gives a crap.
Apparently, it's hit a nice little hot button.
So, but there's a much bigger thing going on here. We're going to talk more. I know most of you guys and gals are marketing people and or hypnosis people. So this is probably fascinating. I know it's fascinating to me, but one of the biggest things you can do online, whether you're live streaming, whether my MB type is emotionally unavailable unless I really like you. I've noticed, Craig, Jesus, for like the last 15 years or something. Yeah, fully aware.
Craig, you and I are matches made in heaven, brother.
So funny. So funny. Craig, did you know that Joshua and I just recently relaunched NPod? And retaught the whole program? It's true.
True story.
So what the point here is that people love to talk about themselves. And when you are genuinely interested, not just like pretending to be interested in whoever you're talking to, whether it's a one-on-one environment, whether it's a sales environment, whether you're meeting somebody new in a social situation, whether you're online doing social media, whether you're doing live streaming, whether you're just making posts, if you can engage the people you're trying to connect with something that's important to them and open the door for them to share with you, oftentimes they do. And so what we decided to do was ask you a question today. And the question in the title of the post was, what's your Myers-Briggs? And then the description was, hey, here are our results. Can you guess which one of us is which? Right? So, and that created a little curiosity. So I asked you a question, told you a little bit about ourselves, and created a little curiosity in 2 lines of copy. I must say, that was quite brilliant. And but now, this is probably going to be one of our most highly interactive live streams, with little to no effort.
Right.
We have all you guys jumping on, telling us what your Myers-Briggs is right now and creating tons of comments and everything. It's super cool. And it was totally engineered. So I'm telling you this because there's something to be learned for anyone in marketing, any influencers, anyone that's building their list, anybody that's connecting with people on social media on a large scale, trying to accomplish anything, is it's not about Myers-Briggs, but it's about asking people about themselves in a way that they're going to be interested. Anyone who's never taken Myers-Briggs is not paying attention to us right now. Not really. Right? The only people.
Well, Marilyn Zink just said that she doesn't know what hers is, but what about zodiac signs? She's an Aquarius and match that.
Boom. All right. That's tomorrow's live stream, Marilyn. Thanks for the idea. But like, seriously, really, really, really good. Again, people's zodiac signs, they're very attached to. It's part of our sense of self.
Right.
Right? It gives us the kind of
somebody said, I don't know who it was, but I just wanted to read this out. Somebody said that the majority of my test results were right on, so I was in awe of its accuracy. Boy, I felt the exact same way. There's been several books that I've connected with, or that type of thing, where it was like I was in awe. Like, how do they know this? The Life You Were Born to Live, Dan Millman's is one.
Yeah, that's Chuck Mulaney, by the way. That's Chuck Mulaney.
Oh, cool. And the Myers-Briggs, and then Strength Finders for me was like breakthrough. For
me, I mean, I find Strength Finder to be good, but Colby was just absolutely off the charts transformational. The Colby Index A for me, unquestionably has been the best thing that I've taken to give me clarity on like how I operate and why, and how to use it to my advantage, and how to try to avoid like unnecessary pitfalls. Right.
I just wanted to thank Georgina. She said that I just joined because I like you guys. You guys give good tips. Thank you.
Right on, Georgina. Great to have you here.
Appreciate it.
Hey, have you taken action on any of the advice that we gave you in relationship to building your acupuncture and homeopathy practice? How are things going for you, Georgina? What do you still need? And then Jacqueline jumps in.
Colby, disc.
Rocks, yeah, and she's mentioned cold. Then Jacqueline mentions disc. Jack Austin, Colby. That's right. It's Monterey Jack.
I'm a DI on disc, Jacqueline, if it means anything. That was one of the early ones that got me addicted to taking these types of things.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I ever took disc either. Carl says disc was frustrating for me since I wound up right smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, frustrated by disc myself, because I felt like I could I could go to all of the different quadrants, and it didn't mean anything, specific to me personally. But I mean, it was useful, but it wasn't nearly as profound for me as like the Myers Briggs or Strength Finders was like, seriously breakthrough. And then Life You Were Born to Live, my profile in there was so dead on. It was crazy. And it's all based on numerology, which is kind of even weirder that it was so exact for me. Strengths, weaknesses, all of it.
Cool. Georgina says, yes, I changed my site. And yes, I started offering a free 15-minute consultation.
Nice.
Awesome. So Georgina, next, what I want you to do is call every single one of your previous clients or customers and ask them how they're doing during COVID. Call them on the phone. Talk to them. Don't try to sell them a damn thing. Ask them how they're doing. You were thinking about them. You wanted to check in, see how them and their family were doing, see if there's anything you could do to help or be of support in any way. Call them all. You'll be booked solid in no time. All right.
For sure.
Because you've been practicing for a long time, right? And email them too, right? And if you can't get through with calling or emailing, then text message them too, right? But like you probably have whoa, holy smokes. What is this?
Kevin.
All right. Kevin just wrote a dissertation. All right.
Well, whatever it is, we've struck a real kind of cool chord here with everybody.
That's right. There is a free version called 16personalities.com. I just took the freaking $50 version, Kevin. Thank you, though, for everybody else. My result is the debater. Oh, put a name to it. That's cool.
The master debater. No jokes here.
That's nice. Okay, the master debater. When my one daughter, who I affectionately nicknamed IDK for I don't know, due to her indecisions, the test should take 10 to 15 minutes, but it took my daughter 90 minutes, which of course ended up turning out the wrong test result, to which my mom stated, well, maybe you don't know your daughter that well. Needless to say, I sat down with my daughter, had her retake the test, reading the statements without any emphasis on phrasing or reframing the questions. And do you want to know what her result ended up being? Everybody keeps typing in. I can't read this thing. Accurate and correct. Yeah, I do know my kid. That also stated, shameless plug, I offer several other personality tests that are amazeballs. And humility to boot. So, awesome, Kevin. Send me some private links, and I'd love to check out what you've got going on. Don't put them in the chat. This is not the place for that. But if you want to send me a couple private links to what you're working on, I would love to see. Georgina says, "Love you guys."
Thank you,
Georgina.
Jacqueline, to answer
acupuncture needles. I'm telling you, industry transformer. 6-foot acupuncture needles. Joshua.
I was just going to, Jacqueline asked what system we're using to broadcast today. We're using, I'm projecting through my virtual cam connected to eCam Live, and then we're using Restream's live studio to broadcast the rest of it. So using both of what we used over the weekend. And actually, I was using that this weekend too, the same thing, just without Tellman.
Cool. Because I was on the mountain with the witches. Jack Austin, great seeing you. Hope to see you again soon, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the love.
Let's see. We got an INFP coming in from Michael
Millman.
How's it going, dude?
How are you, man? Long time.
Let's see. Oh, Jacqueline says a guy stuck a spoon to the wall during the PK party yesterday. Yeah.
Nice.
Nothing better than a good old-fashioned spoon on the wall. That's awesome. Oh, yeah, the how to fascinate.
How to fascinate,
That's a cool one. I have that book.
It's Hogsworth. Hogsworth.
No,
Sally.
is it Hogsworth or Hog something? Hogsmeade? No, that's Harry Potter. Hog something. Hogshead, right? Is it Hogshead? I think it's like Sally Hogshead.
No, I don't think so. Well, somebody that knows will I'm sure chime in and let us know. But I think Hogshead is the Harry Potter.
No, that's Hogsworth. We're being so completely and totally offensive right now. Sally, your stuff is freaking awesome, even though I'm completely butchering your last name in every possible way. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find her last name. Hogshead. I was right. I was totally right. I was right.
You were right. I was remembering it incorrectly. You are correct. I stand corrected. I am so sorry.
I got snorted at by a pretty big hog this weekend. It's
a real one?
A real one. I was out at a farm and I was walking around last night with my daughter, and she wanted to go see the pigs, and we went down to see the pigs, and there were these 4 big fat hogs laying on one side and these other 2 big pigs that were clearly women mama pigs, and a whole bunch of piglets running all over the place. And the moment we got too close, this big pig was just like, and all of a sudden lightning went off on writing a new fairy tale called The Big Bad Pig and the 3 Little Wolves. It's true. True story.
Whoever just mentioned Perry Marshall's marketing DNA. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. I totally agree with you, man. Or woman. I apologize. I'm not seeing where that's coming in from.
Again, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay, got it. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, just some really, truly profound new ground broken with what Perry shares there.
That's interesting. I mean, Perry is a longtime colleague, and I'd say, I mean, when we talk, we act like friends, but we don't really talk unless we bump into each other at seminars. Super genius, pioneer. PerryMarshall.com, or where do you check out his stuff?
Yeah, you can do it at PerryMarshall.com, and I recommend buying it through him because he gives I think you can still pick it up if you get the book someplace else, but he offers all sorts of extra stuff buying it through him directly. So, it's worth it. Hey, Melissa, thank you. You know what? Funny thing, I'm the exact same situation as you. The exact same thing. And it's funny because the between the T and the F, it's exactly when I've taken it several times throughout the years, and the counts are exactly flip mirror opposite when I've taken them. So it's like it depends on how it shows up. It's really amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. So what have you found most useful about knowing your Myers-Briggs type? And I'm asking Joshua, but I'm also asking everybody else. I just took the test this morning because I'm trying a little experiment. But why? What have you found useful about knowing your type over the years?
It's been so long since I've actually focused in on the Myers-Briggs stuff that I don't really remember. I'm trying to go back to what it was. It was, I think, at the very beginning, because it might have been the first profile test that I ever took, and I got it from a book that is called Please Understand Me, and I just went through it in the book, and they have, I made copies of the thing so I could do it anytime I wanted to throughout the years. I think it was that it gave voice to a lot of the things that I was feeling inside that I couldn't quite understand why or that type of thing. But I don't remember, frankly. I mean, it's been so long since I've actually studied it for myself that I can't give you an accurate answer.
Cool. Marilyn, best website for the Myers-Briggs test. I'll tell you, I'm going to pop this one in. This is where I took it this morning. But someone else said like 16personalitytypes.com or something like that. And no, that's not quite it. Hold on. Maybe we should come up with our own version of the Myers-Briggs test. Yeah,
I have.
it's 16 per, yeah, I know. It's 16personalities.com 16. So yeah, I'll just put this one in there too. Cool.
Several years ago, I came up with the IWIQ,
That's right.
income to work IQ ratio.
All right. So let's see what everybody has to say. We have Craig Perrine says, I think I liked Colby more than Myers-Briggs. I was an 8372. You're much more balanced than I am, Craig. Let's see. I don't have anything that stuck out about Myers-Briggs other than I like judging things. You know, I don't think my score said that I was a judger, but I find that highly unusual considering I've been accused of being quite judgy.
The thing that I found interesting about the judgment side of it, it was more about, it wasn't as much as being judgmental as it was the Talman-Joshua test. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to prove other than craziness.
Are you a total Looney Tune? Take the Talman-Joshua test to find out for sure. If you're, yeah.
The T and me profile.
That's right. I don't like this whole T and me thing you're stuck on.
I do.
That. I know you do. It's about you.
It's internal. No, it's not about T and T, whatever. It just rhymes. It's got good rhythm.
It does rhyme. It does rhyme. As an intuitive, who said this? Who's an intuitive? Who's claiming to be intuitive? Who's that?
I don't know.
As an intuitive, it's Michael Millman again. All the tests I've taken have typically confirmed what I already sensed and observed about myself. Nice.
Yep.
Very, very cool. So, how about this? Are the Myers-Briggs tests, are they in any way, shape, or form, like, are there, I'm sure there must, like, do certain types match well with other types in either business relationships, friendships, or romantic relationships? Like, there must be some study, there must be a lot of studies done on the different types that are good or caustic, to one another.
Yeah. The reason why I like the Dan Millman's The Life You Were Born to Live is that he talks about, like, the positives of your profile when you're working in the positive, and then he talks about when you're showing up in the negative, and how you play in business and professional life, and how you show up in relationships, and how to when you're working it in the positive versus when you're stuck in the negative. Not that we all have the ability to go either direction, but for me, it was just really, really, really accurate.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, seems like people love the different types of tests, but don't love commenting about what makes them super important. That's cool. It's good to know. Good little social experiment. Well, all right, how about this? What can anyone tell me about my personality type? Because I haven't had the time to fully read everything about it. So if you have an opinion or any thoughts on what an INTP might mean, and the cool things about that, or the pitfalls that I might be banging my head up against, considering I haven't really studied Myers-Briggs in detail, I would love your opinions. You want to talk about the 4 letters? Like, do you know Myers-Briggs well enough to, like, talk about what each one of the 4 categories means, Joshua?
I know what the 4 categories are, but I don't know how they combine together and what it makes up in terms of how they influence one another, because the mixture of how they, all I remember is that when I was reading my profile, and then I had my daughter take hers in the Myers-Briggs, and they said it's very uncommon to have, she's the same profile as me. And it was very uncommon for you to have like a parent and a child, the same of these two, versions of it. And so it was interesting because of the combination of things and how it kind of shows up is
there an age that's generally accepted at which point people are old enough to take the test and have it be somewhat accurate?
They have different versions of them. They have stuff that are geared directly for young adults and teens, and then as it progresses through that, accordingly. But it's all based on the Myers-Briggs, which is obviously from Carl Jung back in the day. Mm-hmm. So it has a lot of psychological offshoots to it.
Hey, Joy Houston chimes in. Do you know Joy?
I know the name. I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe
probably
at a conference years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
What makes them important for me, especially my copywriting, is that I speak to each personality type. Hugely helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I don't really know where to go with this today. Like, this is really interesting. I'm glad everybody's chiming in and
I mean, we can tie this into what I talked about on Saturday, which is, what's your stupid human trick? And that, is what, for me, what was most useful about all of these things is to put it into an awareness for myself about what is my stupid human trick that when I'm doing something, pursuing a goal, that I can use as a filter. I talked about it being the filter for the what, like what you're going to pursue, and also the filter for how you choose to pursue it. Because just because you're choosing to pursue something, a goal or whatever that is in alignment with your stupid human trick, you can still go about putting that into action. The what part and the how can be completely counter productive for the way that you are in terms of your approach to life.
Right.
So, I mean, there's that. And then there's also something that that Jacqueline mentioned that was really kind of cool. In the beginning of the conversation, she said, well, what I do is, I said, what's your stupid human trick? And she said, well, I do PK and I show people how to touch with their intuition and things of that nature. And I said, great. But I would venture to say that is an expression of your stupid human trick. It's a way that you put your stupid human trick out into the world. And then at the end of that, I said, any insights after we got done talking about it? And she came back with, I help people unlock their true purpose in seconds in life. And I was like, wow, because anything that she can do now is connected to that. And it was cool to see the expansion of awareness as we went through the journey there. So I don't know if that's something that is useful, but that's personally what I like to do, along with what Joy had said about the using it to make sure that you're not alienating a specific group, or that you can develop multiple approaches, multiple communication channels that resonates strongly with each of the 16 major different types.
That's right. I mean, there's so many different ways to think about it. I've been struck by, over the years since Ryan Levesque has been doing all this stuff with his Ask method, it's real interesting because he developed this very detailed and amazing methodology to help put prospects into different buckets and to really help identify the problems that they're facing and then solve them with your products and services and the copy that helps to show people the problems that they can help solve, and how much that process can increase your conversion, right? And prior to that, years and years and years and years and years prior to that, Alex Mandossian had the Ask database.
Yep.
I thought he had something called the Ask method too. Maybe not. Maybe it was just called Ask. I don't know. One way or the other, Alex was teaching how to inquire with your list and with your database to find out what their interests are, and then to categorize them in different ways as well. He had a very different approach than Ryan.
You know, Ryan pointed out something very interesting that I thought was just cool. I think it's called the Zarnik effect or something of that nature.
Yeah, Mark Joyner's been talking about the Zarnik effect for years. Yeah.
But the thing that I thought was hilarious is that he said just by going through the quizzes or the sort, even if the copy stays the same, they are anticipating it showing up differently for them, so they become more responsive based upon what they choose to tune into in the explanation. So it's like that. I thought that was pretty.
It's true. It's really interesting, the different ways that people love to interact with this, and it comes back down to, do you care about your people? And are you interested in what's going on with them? And one big takeaway from a list building, from a lead generation, from a email responsiveness kind of perspective here is, look at how many comments and how much interaction happened in this live stream versus many of the others where we're trying to get people to respond, but it was like, whatever, like just talking to ourselves in a wide open field sometimes. And everyone who's ever live streamed has experienced this.
Sure.
First of all. And what strikes me is, Jacqueline, you really should be considering, like, what's your intuition type, or where are, what types of, what areas of psychokinesis, the psychokinesis test, what type of PK practitioner are you, or these different types of, how can you create an assessment tool to help your people understand themselves and help you serve them better, right? And really look at how much people love discovering about themselves. Some people are addicted to taking personality tests. Like everybody who's commenting right now. It's amazing, right? So that's a pretty good takeaway, right?
For sure.
It's a way that you can serve your marketing community and get to know them much better, so that they understand themselves, and so that you understand them more in the process.
Yeah, for sure.
Hugely powerful. How would you apply this? So for our NPOD students, right? For our students that are building businesses online NPOD style, Joshua, if people were to implement create your own assessment, maybe a 10-question multiple choice assessment that drops people into one of 3 different categories or something, like, what are the 11 NPOD factors, does that really play to the most? How would this be part of the business building process?
Well, personally, I would apply it to the evolution of NPOD in terms of the income for life business development process, which is NPOD being a component of that. And I would talk about, the 3 major phases of business development. When you're in the income today, income tomorrow, income for life, then there's certain plateaus and guideposts along the way that indicate whether, where they are and what's the next thing. Because the thing that I think we forget is that depending on where we are in our entrepreneurial journey and building out stuff, it will, we have different 0 factors, like we talked about on, was it Friday or Thursday, and they shift, right? Like, somebody that's in the rainmaker phase of their entrepreneurial startup journey has a different 0 factor than somebody that's a systems fixer, and there's a showstopper that's, each of them have to do that. But I think we have a tendency to treat all of the phases the same as having the same problem. So I would build it around that to give people, I think the 11 factors are probably too much to put into some sort of a simplified profile. But certainly the overall understanding of the journey that we're on to build an income for life type business model.
That's right.
That in and of itself is a completely different approach, because most people look at, starting a campaign as being finite and a snapshot in time.
Mm-hmm.
that begins and ends. And, just thinking about having an ongoing perpetual income, perpetual impact, perpetual asset that continues to produce is a different approach. And you have to go in with whatever your intention is and methodically work. I mean, it all starts in the same spot, right?
Right. That's right.
Anyway, I don't know if I've answered your question or taken it off track. So I'll
probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. Well, one way or the other, guys, if you're interested in learning how to continue to build your business online, how to dramatically increase your connection and understanding with your people, and really build a long-term sustainable internet business, whether you're supercharging your existing business or starting a brand new one, then let us know. Reach out, shoot us a private message, and we can bounce some questions around and see whether or not our process would help you get where you're looking to go. Really interesting today to see how many people responded to this. This probably could turn into a really great email that could get a lot of responses as well. And I really appreciate everybody coming out of the woodwork and letting us know what your Myers-Briggs tests are. I'd love to hear more about what you're interested in talking about and chatting about. If you're facing any marketing problems, entrepreneur problems that you'd like some attention on and like to have solved, please ask your question in the comments and we'll focus in on it on a future live stream.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kevin, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what Kevin pointed out about the genesis of where survey funnel and then what is now the ask or the bucket method and the ask method. I totally agree with you. And yes, as a matter of fact, when I first discovered Ryan, it was by way of Glenn. And and they have all sorts of mad love for one another, at least back then. I don't think that there's any slighting going on whatsoever. They just took it in different directions. So
awesome.
Like that.
Awesome. But at the end of the day, I mean, you can look at this stuff in a lot of different ways, but what it comes down to is people trust and are connected to and care about people who care about them, who listen and who pay attention. And the more you can do that, the better.
Yeah. And the more that you can actually serve them, you can't serve somebody, you can't give value unless your communication lands with her, open to receiving that communication. Then and only then can you serve somebody. If they just tune you out because your approach doesn't connect with them, then you can't, you might have the greatest impactful solution that they would absolutely love, but they've tuned you out because, it's not landing with them in the way that you're approaching it. So something to consider.
What other, we touched on this a little bit earlier because people started chiming in, but for the new folks that are with us now, is what other personality tests or assessments have made a big impact for you? Even if they've already been mentioned by someone else, it'd be cool to see it in the comments. Is what other tests or assessments have been helpful, insightful, useful to you on your entrepreneurial journey to understand yourself and continue to get better at what you do? What have you discovered? What have you seen? By the way, Stephanie Conkle, hello, good to see you.
Marilyn, to answer your question, personally, I am an INXJ, and the X means that I can go either to the T or to the F side of it, and I've had the exact same experience at various points in my life where the flips, they automatic, the scoring of the either the F or the T flip exactly the other side, from 13 to 7 and 7 to 13, back and forth. So it's like the same as having equally both. So it depends on what I'm in tune with, where I'm at, how it affects me.
Awesome. And I just took this morning, but I'm an INTP. And I need to read all about that. I just finished taking it like 5 minutes before we started live streaming. Awesome. Well, Joshua, is there anything else we have to go over today?
No, man, I think, this has been really cool. If anything, it tells me that we're on course with what we are, thinking about doing in terms of helping people with a profit plateau profile quiz and to show them, specifically what to do if they're looking to develop an income for life business. So
you want to know a little takeaway on this as we're thinking this through, like if we're going to create more of a quiz model or more of a assessment model, is that people are proud to share that badge of honor, but I don't think that people care to share when they're being diagnosed with a problem. So
but I mean, like Rainmaker and Growth Duplicator and
right. Agreed. That's where we're putting a spotlight on their strengths, right? Yeah. And people love.
What happens if this is what you got to think about? These are the how it shows up positively and negatively depending on what you're working with.
Right. Versus the whatever I call it, the traditional, even though it's only been around for a few years, the traditional online quiz model, the Ryan Levesque online quiz model, where you're really focused on identifying the problem and then speaking directly to that client with that problem, addressing their issues of pain, and then selling to them, works from a sales perspective 100%. But challenging to have that classification be something that I want to share with the world, unless it somehow has a really powerful positive spin on it, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's an either or situation. I think we can embrace the brilliance of the and have the empowering titles, the roles, and then just speak to the nuances, the pain of each one. If they're and they know what they're living with, and if they're more commonly, in this place, then I think that's actually going to be very useful for people, of which they can. Be proud to talk about the title that they have that they're at.
Totally. Very cool. All right, everybody. Well, I think we are going to end here. If you have other tests and assessments that you think the world should know about, let us know in the comments below. And if you want to learn how to connect with your audience, grow your email list responsiveness, to build your email list, to start generating more traffic and building a business and a business model that will serve you for years and years and years to come, why don't you type elephant into the comments below. Shoot us a private message. And we'll have a chat about it. It'll be good. Elephant.
Elephan't.
ELEPHANT. All capital letters with a period after each one to make it an acronym. You type that in the comments below, and all of your wishes will be granted. All right. Joshua, great chatting with you. I hope everyone has a great day. It was really nice having all the interaction today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This has made it so cool.
Way more
fun. Yeah.
All right. Over and out. Toodaloo.
See you guys.
Bye.